All right. First of all, my bad about last week with confusing Dutch and Danish. And it seems like I didn't catch myself till the end of the thing, but I mixed up my white people. My bad. And shout out for y'all being gracious to me. Yeah. Dutch ain't Danish. Danish ain't Dutch. Good politics. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Who hasn't texted the wrong person? Oops, wrong text. Oh my God. Oh shoot. First of all, the group chat is sacred. This is internationally known. Everyone who has ever participated in a group chat knows, we all know in the depths of our souls that if anything in this group chat has ever got out, our families, our careers, our children's perception of us, our friendships destroyed. I would argue that the group chat is the last sacred space on earth. This is where you get to have all your debauchery. You get to be devolved, share the dankest of memes because you know it's sacred. And everybody in it understands with the equal amount of debauchery that we have all put into this thing. We all understand that this cannot come out, but you've been added to a group chat before. And when you get added to a group chat, why was you not like, let me first make sure I know everybody's number in it. And if you don't know, let's say it was a work group chat. You'd be like, yo, this is Prop. I'm the 626 number. Everybody say who they are so we can save your numbers. At some point you do that in the group chat. And if somebody don't do it, you hit the person you know directly. Have y'all never been in a group chat and be like, yo, who's the 909 number? Like, who added him? Because I'm not finna just start talking if I don't know everybody in the group. Especially the one that ain't introduced themselves. Who don't double check? Now, if you was added in a group and you don't know anybody, like none of the numbers, you might be like, oh, maybe this was a mistake. Yeah. And what do? You lurk to see. Who wouldn't lurk? You just never know. This might be dope. Or you might be like, this ain't none of my business. And you just dip out. I've been added to group text on accident and I've realized like either A, this is spam, or B, y'all probably meant another Prop or another Jason. But I'll usually hit that person directly, be like, yo, was you trying to add me? Have you ever, back when voicemail was a thing, you ever had somebody butt dial you and then you hear them talking? And one time I had somebody butt dial me and they was on a date and they was talking trash about me. I got 45 minutes of them talking trash about me. But this is why you double check. And the stakes that we talking about is maybe a little bit of embarrassment, maybe some repercussions at work. But at the end of the day, everybody knows you don't let this get out because this is sacred. So it would be safe to assume that we all agree that the stakes maybe relatively are low, but they're high enough to double check. Yeah, I might lose a job, but let's just say this group chat required the highest of security clearances that our country has to offer. How come nobody was like, yo, who's the 202 number? Hood politics, y'all. Oops, wrong text. Y'all, welcome to the Houthi PC group chat. Small group. Y'all, listen, if it wasn't so not funny, this would be the funniest 4 years that this country has ever offer. If it wasn't so, I don't know, Nazi-ish. If it wasn't so yeah, so that abrupt stopped and outfit change that you're seeing right now on your screen is, or hearing right now in your headphones, is the sights and sounds of a person who exported this video wrong, and it only exported the first 5 minutes of the show. And then last night, as in the night before this was going to get edited, deleted the original files from his hard drive because he was just trying to make space. That is the sight and sound that you are witnessing right now. I can't be more frustrated. I don't know. This is Tuesday morning. Okay. This is the morning that Matt mixes and masters these to go out on Wednesday. I try to have it to him by Monday afternoon so that we can do all the tweaks and stuff like that right now. But somehow I get to now model the behavior that I wish our senators would give, which is not just our senators. I mean, our top 5. God damn it. I need to find the freaking notes too. My bad. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why these people couldn't just be like, you know what? We fucked up. We royally we fucked up. Guys, listen. Jason, my name is Jason. You know what I'm saying? Prop is like, that's the nickname that I got when I was 13. But Jason, born of Janice, I fucked up. I deleted these files knowing full well, and I'm telling you, y'all, my practice is to don't delete files till the episode come out, just in case. Your boy didn't do it this time because I thought I needed hard drive space. God dog. And you know what the thing is, like, if you've ever recorded something, you get it. It's never going to be as good as you remember it. This version that you about to hear right now, that I'm going to try to go back and find my notes on, it ain't ever going to be as good as the one. Oh, Lord. Well, I'm going to pull up my notes now because I was at least wise enough to throw the notes into the Google Doc rather than just crack jokes with y'all. Ah, man, I'm so frustrated right now. I was Googling how do you empty the trash? And I know some of you computer nerds would probably know how to tell me how to get into my deleted files. But I'm like, at this point, you might as well just re-record it. So here we are, Matt. Oh, Lord. Cue the theme music. All right. Here we go. God, dog. I still feel that pit, that butterflies. Still feel that pit in my stomach. The pit for which these men should have felt when they realized what they was doing. Now, what I'm assuming is you already know this because this has been all over. Matter of fact, what sucks about this world we in is like y'all done moved on from this. The memes are already incredible. One of the dopest memes I saw was the picture from Succession when homeboy kept sending the dick pics to his like basically his play auntie, and then he realized he just got caught and he was doing the Macaulay Culkin little brother. I love that we've embraced the McCulkin family. There's a guy in my church that looked just like one of them, but I'm too shy to ask him because he looks so much like him. And if he's not that, he's like, bro, people probably say that all the time. Y'all see this box of toilet paper right here? Or this? If you looking at this video, this is how thrown off I am. Normally, because the doc ZP, refer to her by her prefix, uses the office, which is my little recording studio, as also storage. So I usually try to move this stuff off camera, but I'm so flustered right now from the reality of the situation I'm in, which again, I hope reflects the hearts and minds of the PC Small group. At this point, because the news moves so fast, you should already know what happened. Bruh, in some of the messiest, sloppiest, like, I don't understand how at the stakes that they're at, that they wasn't more careful. Now, y'all listen, I just do podcasts. So these stakes are not that high. Okay, I'm going to miss a meeting. Matt's going to have to stay up later. Ian's going to have to scramble. The stakes aren't that high. Let's just say this was an actual group text. And maybe you was talking trash about your boss. Maybe you had sent a few pictures from the gym that you know you wasn't supposed to take of some of the nice, pretty round browns. That's what my homeboy used to call booties. But you see how I don't really talk like that, but you talk like that in a group text because you understand this is mutual destruction. This is nuclear. You supposed to double check that there's trust inside the group text. Don't we all know this? Don't we all know this? But alas, I'm going to leave this in the video. Normally I would edit this out. This is Matt texting me being like, yo, what are you going to do? He said, do you use Dropbox Pro? Might be start saving episodes so you could keep the files. I'm going to text him right now and tell him what I just text y'all. I normally don't throw files away until the episode is out. I just got too sloppy last night. I didn't even drink. I mean, like I was standing in solidarity for most of this month with the two of the three monotheist religions that, you know, fast right now. You feel me? I was standing here in solidarity with my brothers and sisters in Ramadan, and I was pushing my flesh away, so I wasn't even distracted. I just did some dumb shit. But when you do dumb shit, my people, again, back to my point, you did some dumb shit. It is what it is. But this particular situation, if you don't know the narrative, was dumb shit that could cause lives. Now, let's get to it. If you don't know by now, there was a situation a few weeks ago where let's go with the narrative. So if you are someone who's been pursuing your dreams of journalism, fought and scrapped, and especially journalism in the era where you get one of them you get killed in by the head of a country. You get blown up in Palestine. You get this is a hard time to be a journalist. Now in America, we have this martyred fetish, this kink about believing we suffering in relation to the rest of the world. Obviously, you know what I'm talking about, because obviously there are real suffering, and suffering is, of course, relative. But for some reason, we like to believe, especially the Christians in America, they love to believe they persecuted. They got like a kink, like they feel like they left out. Like y'all left out of the persecution ring. You know what I'm saying? You want to go back to the Roman Empire where y'all was burnt by the, you want to be like that. You feel me? It's not y'all. Listen, Christians, y'all have been mildly inconvenienced, but now you won't top. Okay, y'all got it. This your world. You got your Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, he's in the office. You got him, right? If you're a journalist in America, you getting dragged. If you're a journalist in America trying to actually do your job, you getting dragged. But every once in a while, you get an alert, and if you are just worked your way up to the top of a reputable news source called The Atlantic, then your name is Jeffrey Goldberg. You might have been sitting in your car chilling, and then you get an alert on Signal. Now, Signal, if you don't know, is a text messaging service similar to a WhatsApp that's just not so Zuckerberg-y, right? It's got end-to-end encryption. Now, again, if you're an immigrant, you've been on WhatsApp for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? That's how you talk to your family, right? Signal is another option for it because of the same end-to-end encryption, and your nation don't matter. Now, we, Cool Zone Media, we use Signal for probably the same reasons anyone else would use Signal. One, it's convenient, and two, it's got the privacy, it's got the vanishing modes, because you could be you could be ratchet like on Snapchat, you feel me? Because you're just going to disappear, which will come back, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, we use it because we're passing around stuff, and Molly and them got the weird little guys that they be talking about that don't like them. Sophie has gotten many threats. You feel me? Robert had to, beat the brakes off a Nazi before, or almost did. So we got people looking for us. Not for me, but looking for them. Maybe they are looking for me. I don't know. I think I was on a list at one point. So we be trying to keep a lot of our communications a little bit private. But we're podcasters. It's kind of not that serious. It's serious, but it's not that serious. So Jeff, you minding your own business. Bloop, you get an alert to join the Houthi PC Small group. Now, PC stands for Principals Committee. So this is the highest of clearance. Okay. And you get this alert from this man named Mike Waltz. Now, Mike Waltz is the national security advisor. So, you're the guy to make sure that the security of the nation stays secure. And you get this alert. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of guys in my phone named Robert. There's probably a lot of dudes in his phone named Jeffrey. Honest mistake at first. So, but also probably a mistake that wouldn't have happened had you not used Signal. If you're on the audio version, you didn't see me scoot forward and get really close to the camera. But had you not used Signal, probably could have avoided this whole thing. Anyway. Get an alert from Mike Waltz. Now, if you, Jeffrey Goldberg, you thinking a couple things. One of the things you might be thinking is maybe this is you're just going to alert me of, yeah, like basic stuff. Like, all right, there's going to be a press briefing. You're just letting me know directly. It's crazy that you still have my phone number saved, considering how much your boss don't like me. But it is what it is. You have to communicate with the press. Like, the reality is, until Trump completes his breaking of the U.S. norms, you still got to communicate with the press. So a little weird to get hit up directly by him and not one of his peoples, but it is what it is. So you join the group. Why would you not join the group? And then you start looking around as to who in this group. Hey, who's in the group? The head of the CIA. You got Mark Rubio, the Secretary of State. You got Tulsi Gabbard, the National Intelligence. You got John Ratcliffe, and you got Pete Headass Hegseth. That's that man's name. He Pete Headass. Pete Headass Hegseth. Headass. How do you describe a headass? What do you like? It's him, headass. You throw a headass at the end of, like, what's great about being black, especially when you're gonna roast somebody, is like you could just describe what you see on a person and then just say looking ass at the end of it, or old head ass, right? You got a dude that's doing quick calculations in his head about how much the tip is. You old long division head ass. You know what I'm saying? Yo, math professor looking ass. Like, the thing about being black is we get to roast you even about good stuff. Like, yo, prompt on time head ass. Yo, on time is already late looking ass. Anyway, Pete head ass Hegseth. So they all in this group. But most people, again, who have gaming avatars, everybody knows, unless it's like the homies, put your real name in that. And even for me, I have friends who are a couple A lists, a few A minus lists. I save them under different names in my phone. They not saved under their actual names. Why? Just in case something gets out. I just, like, y'all don't know this? Y'all don't know this, right? So anyway, TC is Tulsi Gabbard, right? You got MR in there, Marco Rubio, and then these fools start talking. Now, again, don't understand why nobody was like, hey, who's this other number? I don't know what y'all assume. My guess is you assume that was somebody's aide, but I don't understand why you ain't asked. Why you ain't hit the person that added you to the group and be like, hey, I recognize everybody, but who's that? Like, whose aide is that? Yo, whose man's this? Hey, how you doing, homie? Everybody else is introduced. So we all know each other. Like, who do you work for? Why did you not ask? It's like they've never been in a group chat before. Anyway, this is what happens when you hire people that just rock with you. Anyway, so they talking about their plans about how they gonna drop these bombs on the Houthis. Now, quick recap if you don't remember who the Houthis are. Houthi who? We did an episode on the Houthis that was called The Side Quest during the You Wasn't Outside episodes. Who the Houthis were and are is a militant group in Yemen, right? And they are, like most militant groups out there, backed by Iran. But they also have their own issues around the liberation of the country of Yemen. Now, Yemen has been in a ridiculous civil war for a long time. There's parts of Yemen that I've wanted to visit because they have these amazing, like, this island of these, like, trees that look like they're upside down, look like the branches look like roots. It's pretty crazy, right? So they have that, but they also have probably some of the best coffee on earth. Why it costs so much if you ever get somewhere and they have, like, Yemenese beans, Yemeni coffee. That's like a running joke with, like, y'all, a lot of my Muslim, like, friends. It's like, dude, you're supposed to be fasting, but the kids are going to get Yemeni coffee, right? In their defense, Yemen got some of the best coffee on earth, right? Anyway, partially because like they have less like interbreeding, like modification. It's like it's truly just Yemen soil. It's delicious. Anyway, so Yemen and the Houthis, obviously they don't like the treatment of the citizens of Gaza and the people of Palestine. They feel like everybody else feels, except for Saudi Arabia, about what Israel's doing. That y'all, what you're doing is wrong, inhumane, and genocidal and apartheid. But again, they're funded by Iran. Now, what they've been doing is essentially like as ships come through the Red Sea and go through the Suez Canal. Now, the Suez Canal is up in Egypt, where, you know, the little, like if you picture in the Horn of Africa, where Egypt all the way down to Ethiopia, and then there's like a little Lego piece that look like it fits, a little puzzle piece looks like it fits right in between them things. So the bottom of that thing, so that big thing is like Saudi Arabia. The bottom of that thing right there is the country of Yemen. So if you going through the Suez Canal, like your other option would be go all the way around Africa to get to the Atlantic Ocean, right? Or you can come from the Indian Ocean from one side of the country, cut through the little shortcut, right up the Red Sea, go through the Suez Canal. You already in the Mediterranean. Look, you in Asia Minor, you in Europe. You already made it, right? And then you could go into the open Atlantic Ocean, rather than going all the way down to the South Pole and shit to try to get down around South Africa. That's going to take you forever, right? So you go through the Suez Canal to get there. So what the Houthis been doing is they've been throwing basically like throwing rocks, throwing little like not like atomic bombs, but throwing mortars at the boats trying to get through here. It's kind of like, it's annoying. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like if somebody's scrapping and then there's just like a punch that come from the side, somebody just jumped in from the side where or the dude that just come by while you running and just kind of stick a leg out and trip them, right? That's kind of what the Houthis been doing. They just been tripping, you know what I'm saying? And that's their way to help with the citizens of Gaza. They just, you know, like we got our own shit we got to worry about, but if there's a way we can like mess with this, that's what we gonna do. Biden, during the Biden administration, kind of like I said, when we did last time, did a little side quest to like kind of like slap them and be like, you stay out of it. It wasn't as complete as it could have been. You got me? So in the meantime, they kept doing it. Now, America, being the quote unquote good big homies that they supposed to be to Israel, is like, all right, we need to handle this light work. Now, this is something that the chief executive officer, one Donald J. Trump, is like, we need to do this, right? So you put together what's called, like I said, the principals committee to discuss the how. Now, interesting thing I noticed, and other people have noticed in this group text, is really in my mind just how regular ass these dudes are, because it sounds to me like JD Vance, the whole ass vice president, who's also in this group. Now, remember, we's a lurker in here that nobody checked though. Head ass JD Vance really don't like the plan. I really think this is Europe's job. Like, I don't think we need to do this. And it really don't help us anyway, because even the boats going through the Suez Canal, that stuff go to Europe. It don't help us, you know what I'm saying? Which is a position. Very narrow focused, incomplete position. You reminded me of my daughter when I'd be like, hey, can you pick up those books? She'd be like, why? I'm like, well, because they in the living room and like we all got to use, like, I didn't drop that book. Why do I have to pick that one up? I didn't do that one. I'm like, sweetheart, just all I'm saying is like, this is a shared space we all use. So pick up the book, right? You just clean up the counter. She's like, I'll clean up my crumbs, but I only sit right here, so I'm going to wipe up right here. Like, are you serious right now? She says that, but she's 9, JD Vance. Anyway, dang, I'm feeling a little more saucy this time than I did last time. Probably because I got to do it again. Anyway, so there's a disagreement. Now, again, this is human, because when you get in a group text with your coworkers, of course you're going to complain about the boss. There's another man in there named Stephen Miller who's the kiss ass. You know what I'm saying? Who they actually all have to make him happy because he the one closest to the president. You feel me? So you're gonna like, even like, dude, listen, y'all, you got family group texts. How many of them? Because I know you got a group text where one of the cousins ain't in it. So y'all could talk shit about that cousin. Am I making this up? Is that not all of our lives? So to me, again, the use of the emojis, I'm not finna drag them on stuff like that. Like because that's part of the story too. Like these dudes were like doing like fist bump, you know, white boys love the fist bump emoji, you know, the flag, the flex arm. That's because they regular. These are regular dudes. Right? So I'm not gonna drag them about that. I got a homeboy in one of my group chats still do the old school smile, the colon with the parentheses. He got all the emojis on his phone. He just likes doing that. And I'm like, it makes you look like a douchebag, but listen, you would never know who that is. You know why? Because that's the rules of the group chat. Anyway. So they just kind of like talking back and forth about what they got to do, right? So if you regular degular Jeff, who just works at one of the largest media outlets in the country, you like, surely they're going to know I'm in this group text. Should I be it? I mean, you would probably think this might be a prank. This might be one of the homies, but let me shut up just in case. Then all of a sudden, Pete Headass shoots out the PDF. That's like, all right, this is what we finna do. Now, everybody being regular understands that would be something called, everybody regular would understand that would be something called a war plan. But it technically is not. It's technically the right word if you're going to, well, actually, you know, you're going to push your eyebrow, your glasses up top, like, well, actually, it's actually not a war plan. The right word is concept of operation. And since the Trump administration are teenagers, they're going to be like, we didn't do any war plans. Now, again, if you're being regular, at some point, you're going to be like, yo, should I have not known this? Like, should this be? I feel like I should have known this. And then there's these real-time updates. And as these real-time updates are happening, Pete Headass keeps talking about how our nation is still secure. Our information is secure. So the OPSEC, that's what that's called, Operation Security. He was like, we still got good OPSEC, meaning everybody don't know our plans. We able to do this. But little did this dude know, without checking, that his OPSEC that he's so proud of is currently oh my God, he is currently compromised. Listen, this is you cheating on your spouse in front of your Ring camera, your Google Nest, while you telling your little side piece, don't worry about it. They ain't gonna ever know. We're still secure. Nothing's gone out. You done gave your homeboy's wife's login information, so she watching your head ass. And they going, yo, should I not know? I don't know if you've ever caught a friend cheating on they boo thing. It's weird. I know I've been out and had one of my homeboys get real flirty. And it's like, okay, at what point do I be like, my nigga, let's go it's time to go to the hotel room, cuz like, all right, we going home. All right, sis, good to meet you. We going home. At some point, do you step in and be like, my nigga, you finna ruin your life right now. I think it's about time you shut the fuck up. Like, I don't, like, when do you say, like, was I supposed to see this? I don't know if I was supposed to see this. Only it's bombs. That's like this what we're experiencing. So he go, okay, well, I mean, we here now. So as he's reading these things and getting these alerts, my man Jeffrey got the sense to turn on the TV, and Goldberg is like, damn, the TV going, we have breaking news. This and this and this happened. And he's watching and being like, damn, that is exactly what was on this PDF. Something is, man, what the, this was real. So, and look. Here's my favorite part. They still don't know he in the group text. They still ain't checked. Nobody at any, this thing went on for days. Nobody at any point was like, who is the 202 number? Now, the fallout after this. All right, so the whole thing go down. Jeff has the integrity to remove himself from this group text. Like, cause he like, I probably should be out of here. Now, I don't know, like, listen, I'm trying to humanize this thing. I don't know if it's secondhand embarrassment to where you don't want to like announce yourself in there at this point to be like, yo, y'all, hey, I've been here the whole time. Like, do you embarrass them? Because again, you know how Signal works. They just gonna delete the whole thing, right? Or do you just be like, let me just, like we would all do, grab a few screenshots. Come on, fam. Now, again, I'm adding some human color. Jeffrey Goldberg is a professional, but he's also just a dude. Do you think he sent it to his group text? Screenshots? Do you think him and his homies was like, oh shit, oh fuck, what? Oh my God, dude, shut up, just shut up and listen. Just, dude, tell me everything. I want to tell me everything. So, do you you think he was sending it to his group text? I don't know. Anyway, so once it all gets out, we get to see the judges and the Congress drop the "this you" photos where they keep showing is this you, right? So they did, these 5 people who was in this group chat did what all of us, anybody would do in this particular situation. When you found out you have broken the one of one golden rule, right? There's not even a reason to bring up the hypocrisy of the butthurt emails. Like, that is so obvious right now. We can't even bring that up right now. But the judge, James Boasberg, he's the chief U.S. district judge in Washington. He was like, man, what? I'm gonna need them texts. I'm gonna need you to turn over your phone. This is insane. Y'all gonna have to give me the phone. But that was only after the Atlantic itself asked President Trump about it at a press conference. Like, yo, hey, is it normal that your like highest level of security people just use Signal? He was like, I don't even know what Signal is. You talking about a man, I swear to God, a man who ain't seen an email. When he was buying that Tesla on the front of the White House lawn, I promise you that man ain't driven a car since 1984. And I bet you he only did because it was funny. One, you a New Yorker. Secondly, you filthy rich. You ain't driven when the last time you drove a car? So I'm like, I swear that man has not touched a computer. He do not know what Signal is. Tell you that right now, he don't know what Signal is. He was like, I don't know what you mean. He was like, yeah, bro, I'm the Atlantic. I'm from the Atlantic. I was added to this group chat while y'all was talking about the Houthi thing. He was like, well, the Atlantic is trash. My nigga, what the hell does the Atlantic have to do with what I'm asking you right now? People are doing exactly what people would do. They would turn into Shaggy. It wasn't me. Because that was Tulsi's answer. Tulsi was like, I wasn't in that group chat. They was like, is this you? Showed him the camera. Showed him the phone. Like, is you not TC? Marco Rubio was like, I wasn't there either. They was like, you're not MR? Showing this fool's avatar. Oh, I just picture the avatar of him, like doing the dude that just caught a fish photo with the reflective glasses. And it's Marco Rubio. You're like, that ain't me. No. Oh, Lord. They was like, it wasn't me. And so the Congress and the judge had to keep being like, sir, ma'am, is this you? Yes, this is you. And they was like, okay, yeah. It wasn't me. You know, when you get caught cheating or you get caught in a lie, you only admit to some of it, hoping that the rest of it could go away. And listen, let me ask you this. Are you old enough to understand that never works? It don't work. So they just start, okay, yeah, that was me, but it wasn't, we didn't do nothing classified. They was like, our war plan's not classified. They was like, well, actually, it wasn't a war plan. We got you. It wasn't a war plan. Excuse me. Was the concept of operation. That's not classified? Well, it depends on what you mean. What you mean classified is. At this point, they was just like, my brother in Christ. Can you just admit that this is a big deal? They was like, nah, it's not that serious. It's not that. I find so much joy in how absolutely flabbergasted our Congress was by this answer. Like, man, what the fuck is happening? Not that serious? Oh, man. Oh, my God. I just think this is so funny. Now, Pete Head-ass defense is just like, again, well, Jeffrey Goldberg's pussy. That's basically what he's saying. Well, he's a pussy, so like it doesn't matter. And I'm like, are you serious? They're like, I think you're majoring on the minors here. I think the point is we kick some Houthi ass. Nothing went wrong, no harm, no foul. It was an honest mistake, no big deal. And Jeff's a dick. So I don't understand. I don't know where the scandal is. I don't understand where the scandal is. Like with a straight face. That's the attitude. Now, Ian Goldenberg. Okay, this is an article in Politico. He used to work at the White House and in the Pentagon. Now he works for some like Israeli like group, some fundraising hedge fund type shit. Anyway, I asked him about like, yo, does this seem like weird that you would use Signal? Here's why Signal comes in later. Because I, unlike many people, read Project 2025. And one of the reasons you use Signal as specified in Project 2025 is because of its vanishing. Why you're supposed to use a SCIF, which is a sensitive, compartmented information facility. You know that image where you only see photos of like the president and the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and they sitting around a table, or they looking at the screen like when we killed Osama bin Laden, the war room. You can't even bring your phone in there. Like you can't, like this is the most sensitive. Now, if you one of these 5 people You got somebody following you all the time to make sure if you need to get to a private line, you can get to a private line. But I understand sometimes that's like, it's a lot. They build them into your basement. They build a skiff. If you get that level of clearance, you get a skiff in your basement. It's somebody next to you that you could be like, hey, I can't use this phone. I got to use the other one. Right? That's a reality. You don't just open your phone. But they're using Signal instead of a skiff because it vanishes. Because skiffs, you have to remember at that level of national security, all of your communications, you're supposed to turn that into the Library of Congress. You need to have a record of all of it. That's the law. But if it vanishes, you can't get called into court because whatever we talk about on Signal, you could tell the Supreme Court like, oh, it's gone now. Congress, oh, it's gone now. Like, it gets deleted off the. You'd have to ask Signal. You'd have to subpoena Signal to see if you can get into their servers. And I don't even know if they keep our information. It's end-to-end encrypted. Well, that's, it's protected. That's our privacy. So you use Signal so you could do some shit that won't go into the records. So the shit was on purpose. It's not random. It's not them being lazy. It's like, I would say it's both. It's both easy because anybody can download Signal. You can create a group text. You ain't got to get it. I just need to tell y'all now. How many times you ever called somebody or not called them because what kind of a dinosaur calls, but you email somebody and then you text them and be like, hey, I sent that email because I need you to respond. The alert goes to the same phone. I just need an answer right now. Don't we all do this? But again, the stakes are incredibly lower. Or not, Jeff. So Ian Goldenberg noticed that they asked him, okay, what are the main takeaways you see from this? The first main takeaway was to see the discussion among these high-ranking officials, because by the time it gets to them, it's like, don't nobody care what you think right now. You supposed to just do the thing. It was interesting to see JD Vance really not necessarily be down. Now, to me, that was very human because, again, who doesn't get with their coworkers and talk shit about their boss? Who don't do that? You know what I'm saying? Or just disagree with what the call. Everybody, you're not going to always like to play. It's just interesting that there's that level of disagreement. And honestly, not what they disagreed on, but the fact that there is disagreement to me is something that is good. It's good they're not automatons. Now they gonna be automatons, but it's good that we get a glimpse into seeing that they're not. I think people want to understand, especially when it comes to politics, people think that you want to know how the sausage is made. You think you do. But when you see how it's made, like everybody says, you'll probably never eat another sausage again. Or you might be like, it was good. The point is, I don't know if you really want to know how the sausage is made. Another thing he noticed is that, dude, this is completely avoidable. Because, do you got a Google Drive? When you trying to share a link, I get an alert that says this person that you sending this link to, it does not have a prophiphop.com email address. You sure you want to see it? Just Google. I'm just sending the written out lyrics for the song we're releasing on April 11th. But, I have to go, no, it's cool. Yes. So if you was using a .gov, Jeff wouldn't have got on the thing anyway because he ain't got a .gov. So this could have not happened, right? Had you just followed the direction. Now, the next thing is to wonder truly what Trump thinks. He gonna get they back. He gonna try to push this down. No big deal. It's a witch hunt. I love the phrase witch hunt about this one. I think that's probably the funniest. There's so many funniest parts in this, because for this to be a witch hunt, it would mean we were hunting. We already got it. It's on the internet. You can read the text. And is it a witch? I mean, it's sitting there casting spells. There is no question that the thing happened. So you can't even call it a witch hunt because it's found. Is it a big deal? I mean, you gonna try to tell me it's not. Now, why would me and you care? Well, I suppose, why would we care? I mean, you'd say, Prop, why would I care? I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not in the military. I don't know anyone that's in the military. I don't know anyone who has a loved one in the military. I'm not the child of any sort of veteran. I don't know anybody in Iran. Never met an immigrant. I'm not concerned about the secrets of my safety and my information. You people my sarcasm here? Because the reason why this matters is because, fam, we could die. Can you imagine though? Like, if as easy as it is to hack somebody's phone, to get into somebody's tech, to get into somebody's hard drive, to know exactly where these bombs are going, and maybe that's your cousin, maybe that's your nephew that's gonna have to carry out this mission. Maybe that's your niece that's gonna have to carry out this mission. Now they know where you are. Now they know where your niece is. You putting us, like, they could die. I thought y'all was the military lovers. You could die. All because nobody said, who's the 202 number? Maybe Trump hates it. Maybe Trump still don't know what Signal is. Maybe Trump is like, I'm just going to try to play this low, but he doing what every black mama does once everybody leaves. You already know what I'm finna say, black people. How dare you embarrass me in public? If there's one thing let me tell you something. There are a few things that are mortal sins when it comes to black parents. There are a few things that your parents are not. They not Boo Boo the Fool. They not one of your little friends. They not to be played with. And for some reason, black parents love the word audacity. You had the audacity to embarrass me in public. Now, normally what black parents would do is, you embarrass, sometimes they be, not normally, sometimes they be like, you gonna embarrass me in public, I'm gonna embarrass you in public. That was my grandma. You gonna embarrass me, I'm gonna embarrass you. But other times it's, all right, we'll take it. Okay, Miss Johnson. She shut the door, turn around you, and they did that beat the brakes off. How dare you embarrass me in public? Now I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna defend you. I ain't gonna let them talk about you. Don't you ever embarrass me in public again. We gonna see how obedient these 5 people finna be after this. Politics, y'all. All right, now don't you hit stop on this pod. You better listen to these credits. I need you to finish this thing so I can get the download numbers, okay? So don't stop it yet. But listen, this was recorded in East Los Boyle Heights by your boy Propaganda. Tap in with me at prophiphop.com. If you're into cold brew coffee, we got Terraform Cold Brew. You can go there.com and use promo code HOOD, get 20% off, get yourself some coffee. This was mixed, edited, and mastered by your boy Matt Osowski, killing the beat softly. Check out his website, mattosowski.com. I'm gonna spell it for you because I know. MATTOSOWSKI. MattOwsowski.com, MattOwsowski.com. He got more music and stuff like that on there, so go and check out The Heat. Hood Politics is a member of Cool Zone Media, executive produced by Sophie Lichterman, part of the iHeartMedia Podcast Network. Your theme music and scoring is also by the one and only Matt Owsowski, still killing the beat softly. So listen, don't let nobody lie to you. If you understand urban living, you understand politics. These people is not smarter than you. We'll see y'all next week.